When there is a jazz player in the room and you hear someone asking him, "Can you make this chord progression jazzier?" you know that he is about to play something cool. Jazz players have such an amazing understanding of music theory and chord progressions, and everything they play sounds beautiful and complex. So what are the elements that we have to master to make our chords jazzier? Before we get into this, let me just tell you something right away. You don't have to become a jazz player to play a few jazzy chords. I'm saying this because I know that many guitar players are intimidated by anything that is labeled as jazz music. And even though it is true that jazz music can be quite complex to play, it doesn't mean that we can't grasp some of these elements and put it in our playing. I am not a jazz player, so I learned the chords that I really wanted to learn, the one that inspired me. And I'm really happy like that because I don't have to force myself into learning all these jazz rules that are way too complex for the type of music that I play. So you don't have to become a jazz expert to play some of these chords. Now here are few elements that make your chords jazzier. Subdominant and dominant chords, extended chords definitely make your chords sound jazzier, but also a certain type of phrasing and the chromatic approach. In this lesson, I'm going to combine these 4 elements in one chord progression, and I'm going to break down the chords step by step so that you can understand the process and all the elements that I used. We are going to be using quite popular jazzy chords such as the minor 7 chord, the dominant 13th chord, and the major 9 chord. Now the chord progression we're checking out today is this one: A major 7, E minor 7, A 13, and D major 9. D minor 7, G 13, and C major 9. B half diminished, E 7, and A minor 9, D minor 7, F major 7, and the G sus, and G flat 9, and back to the A. Now, as you can see from the chart, there is always one bar with one chord followed by a bar with 2 chords. The bar with one chord gives you the tonic chord, which is the chord that establishes the key or the tone center. It is the chord built on the 1st degree of the major or the minor key. The bar with 2 chords gives you the subdominant and dominant chord, which are chords that set up tension that needs to resolve. The subdominant is built on the 2nd degree of the scale and the dominant on the 5th degree. So for example, when I play the E minor, A 13, and D major 9, I'm playing the 2nd degree, the 5th degree, the dominant, and the 1st degree, the tonic of the D major key. I made a video where I talk about chord functions, which explains the role of the tonic, subdominant, and dominant chord. So I recommend that you check it out if you want to know more about it. I'm gonna leave it in the description down below. So you realize that this chord progression is a bunch of 2, 5, 1 in different keys. This is the most common way to make our chords jazzier, to add these subdominant and dominant chords. So we have the first chord, the A major 7, then we have a 2, 5, 1 in a D major, then a 2, 5, 1 in C major, then a minor 2, 5, 1. We have a 2, 5, and 1 in the minor key, the A minor key, and then the last one is a 2, 5, 1 that resolve on a different tonic. The first chord is the A major 7. We're gonna play it like this. So we're gonna add some phrasing and chromatic approach. So you wanna put down the D string fret 7 and then 6, 5, and 4. It's a beautiful A major 7 chord. You can strum it with the thumb if you want. And then after this, we're gonna go straight into this phrase. The E string fret number 5, 6, 7. Back to 4, we're gonna approach the 4th fret with a slide from fret number 3. And then on the B string, fret number 5, 7, and back to the fret number 4 on the E string. And then we keep going with the phrase and we play the B string fret 5, the G string fret number 6, back to the B string fret number 5, 7, and 4 on the E string. And then we have the last 2 notes on the B string fret number 5, 7. And then we play the E minor. So a 2-5-1 in a D major with a beautiful phrasing and a chromatic approach. So we play the B string fret number 8. Now this is an E minor 7. We usually play like this, but we have the low E string open that we can take as the bass note, the root note. And so I'm playing B string fret 8, low E string, and then the D string fret number 5, G string fret number 7, and the B string again. Then we play the A13, beautiful sounding chord. It's a very kind of simple shape to memorize. It's just 5, nothing, 5, 6, and 7. We're gonna play 6 and 2, then the 4th and the 3rd, and then this beautiful phrase. So I'm playing the B string fret 5, a hammer on fret 7, pull off on 5, and then this note, the E flat, which is the B string fret number 4. It's a chromatic phrase. So we play the fret 4 and then back to 5. And then we finish the phrase on the E string fret number 5. And we resolve on the tonic chord, which is the D major 9. So we have starting from the A string, 5, 4, 6, and 5. Now we have another 2-5-1 in a D minor, and we're going to approach this D minor chord and G with this phrase. So I'm playing the D and G string fret number 7, the B string fret number 5, and the B string fret number 6. And then I put down the D minor chord. We're going to play like this. So I'm playing the B string fret 6, the A string fret 5, the D string fret number 7, E string open, and the B string again. And then the G13, we already know the shape. We just got to go back here and play 3, nothing, 3, 4, and 5. I pluck 6 and 2, 4, and 3. And then I'm going to play the same phrase. So it's 3, 5, and 3 with hammer on and pull off. Chromatic phrase on the fret 2, back to the fret 3. And I finish on the E string of fret number 3. And then I play this beautiful C major 9, which is a beautiful extended chord. Just 3, 2, 4, and 3. Now the second 2-5-1 is in a minor key, is in A minor. And so it's the same concept. The A minor key, we lay down the chord and we pick the second chord, which is a B half diminished, as we are playing the B diminished chord with the 7th. So it's a B half diminished chord. And then the E7, which is the 5th degree. E7. Chromatic phrase, and A minor at 9, and the A minor 7. So we are playing this beautiful phrase on the G string fret number 2, the B string fret number 3, and the E string open. And then we play the second degree here, the subdominant, the B minor half diminished, the B minor 7 flat 5 or B half diminished. So we're playing the A string fret 2 and the E string fret number 1, the G string fret 2 and the B string fret number 3, the E string again, and then the E7. So 6 and 1, the G string fret 1, and the B string fret 3. And then this beautiful chromatic phrase. So I'm playing on the B string fret 5, hammer on 6, pull off on 5, and then 4, and then 5 again. And I resolve on the tonic chord, which is the A minor add 9. So I'm just playing the E string fret number 7, and then a bar chord on fret 5 on the string G and B. Fret 5 on the E string. And then I'm playing these 3 notes on the G string fret 9, and then 8 and 8, just an A minor 7. And I pick 5 and 1, 3 and 2. Then I have another chromatic phrase. So I'm playing the B string fret number 5, 8, 7, 6, which is going to lead me into this D minor chord. So I'm playing the B string fret number 6, and then I put down the chord on the A string fret 5, the D string fret 7, E string open, and the B string fret 6 again. Now the F major 7 chord. Just the low E string fret 1, and then 2, 2, and 1. I'm not playing the A string. So I'm only picking 6 and 2, 4, 3, and 2. And the last 2 chords. Beautiful jazzy chords. We are playing a G sus4. Now this is a G dominant 7. With the 4th and the 9th. So it's a beautiful sounding chord. We're playing the low E string fret number 3, and then the 3rd fret on the D string, G string, and B string fret number 1. So it's 3, 3, 2, 1. I pick 6 and 2, 4, 3, and 2, and then I play a G flat 9. So I'm just gonna play the G string fret number 1 and the B string open. So the 6th string and D string stays the same. E string open, and I finish with this beautiful A major, A add 9 chord. So it's open, 2, 4, 2, open. So that's it, guys. These are the elements that I use to make my chords jazzier. Subdominant and dominant chords, you definitely want to add that to your chord progressions. But also this beautiful phrasing and this chromatic approach. As you can see, we're not playing a lot of notes. It's all about keeping it simple and keeping it in style. That's it. I'm gonna leave you to practice this, guys, and I'm gonna see you next time for another video. Let me know if you liked the lesson in the comment down below. I'm gonna see you next time for another video.